top secret levels. There's the black monks. This group here is the priesthood. Remember the legends of Samaria and Egypt? There was the gods, then there was the priesthoods. The priesthoods went into the masses and made sure that whatever the gods wanted was fulfilled. It was done. They carried out the format, the program, whatever it was. Okay? That's what the black monks are. It's the new priesthood. Then you've got the Blue Moon unit. The Blue Moon unit is who controls the 3 military bases on the moon, 2 colonies on Mars, which are called Adam and Eve. All of that's on Mars went there from the moon. Then you've got the Ultra 1 unit. Then you have Ultra 2. Now, what many people in the UFO circle believe is MJ-12 being the secret government, it is in fact, according to the Andromedans, Ultra 2. It's the lowest rung of the ladder. And if any of you have ever been in the military, this is the way they do things. I myself have not, but I've researched it enough to know that the way it appears isn't what it is. And then you've got the rest of us, what we call our government. Washington, D.C., and the military, etc. On and on and on. Free energy devices, all of this technology has been in existence over 60 years. We literally have not had to pump a gallon of oil, a barrel of oil out of the ground in 60 years. Technology's been available. It's all being used on the moon, and it was being used on Mars. We don't have it here at all. Now they're starting to come out with it because, the atmosphere is screwed.
Dolphins and whales. Dolphins and whales in our galaxy are honored as sentient animals. They are brilliant philosophers and poets. And we think they're just big, dumb fish. Well, we know dolphins aren't. We're not sure about whales. Okay? But apparently they're absolutely amazing, amazing mammals. And have the admiration of many of the old races for their beautiful songs and storytelling. They have legendary stories of the whale dream, which is the cetacean race memory. So they tell stories about their lineage, which they call whale dream. If the humans of Earth make extinct these species, they will have no standing in the galaxy. We don't know their language, and it's an extremely sophisticated language. It's more sophisticated than the English language, and it's apparently it's a trinary language, which is why we don't understand it, because we are so one-dimensional in our language. Whales and dolphins originated in Cygnus Alpha. Smaller star systems which orbit around the central suns of Deneb, Sadar, Guinea, and Alberia are where they come from. The largest population of whale and dolphin life is right here. Within this collection of smaller stars are thousands of star systems. They wanted to migrate. They wanted to explore the worlds. They wanted to add to the whale dream. And they were brought here millions of years ago, and they are recording. When they birth the young, they teach them the song. And the song is the story of the lineage, of their lineage, and the history that they've learned of the home world that they're on. That's the song that they sing. They're singing the song of the story, of the lineage. And it's, one right after the other. They teach them everything they know. It's amazing, absolutely amazing. H2 and O2. Hydrogen, the hydrogen life beings were threatened or felt threatened by O2 life forms because O2 life forms have a much faster rhythm. Hydrogen can only travel at near space light speeds. They cannot go beyond that. O2s can go much faster, as fast as 4 times the speed of light. H2s are much smaller and slower and more numerous. because of a higher frequency of suitable biospheres. There is trade between the two, between hydrogen and oxygen breathers, but very disastrous wars have been fought between these two civilizations in the past. The Andromedan Council is held in the star system of the constellation of Andromeda. And it's here at Mirosh. Okay, this right here. This is where the Andromedan Council is held. This is also where the star systems of Zenetae, all in here, Zenetae exist. This is where the Andromedan people live. These systems right here is where the Andromedan Council is held. The Andromedan Council was created to study migration and to try to limit contact between hydrogen and O2 races, and hence to stop conflict between the two great orders of organic life. Communication between the two species at times remains quite difficult. That's how it got started. If they're wearing a suit or some type of a helmet, then you can assume that it's a hydrogen or a methane or an ammonia, because if it's an O2, an oxygen, he will not need that apparatus. The Andromedans. They are tough, honorable, courageous fighters. They build massive ships to environmentally resemble worlds. Comfortable, solid, and durable craft. These are my own words. They are model galactic citizens. They are responsible to a fault. If they tell you they're going to do something, they will do it, even at great cost to themselves. They are very active in galactic politics and enjoy considerable influence in galactic institutions. Now, institutions have been set up, especially with O2 civilizations. Those civilizations are the Institution of Civilized Warfare, Upliftment. You people would know that as Ascension. Their word is upliftment. They don't use the word ascension. Migration, which is colonization, and traditions. They are very patient, thoughtful, and above all, careful. They have been responsible for the official stoppage of hostilities in many wars and assisted in the withdrawal of all forces that were in those conflicts. Upliftment. A lot of people here on Earth in the New Age circles talk about ascension. But, nobody really knows what the ascension is. Well, what we do know is that there are higher densities and that all of us are striving to reach a higher frequency in the hopes that we will move into a more evolved society, become more evolved ourselves, and become more expanded consciousnesses. Because sometimes third density is just too damn hard. I acknowledge all that. All of that is correct. Those things do happen. And there is archaeological evidence in the galaxy of races that have actually changed their frequency and moved to a higher level. That's a fact. But it is not called ascension. It's called upliftment. And apparently, none of the races that have done this have done it by themselves. They have always had someone help them out of the mess that they're in. Reach down and basically mentor them to the next level.
Does that mean they don't have a body anymore, physical body?
No, they have a physical body. There's physicality in all the dimensions. There is. You just don't move up to fourth density and fifth density and now you're just this little cloud blowing with the breeze and, it's not like that at all. Okay, it's as solid as this, it's just completely different. The color spectrum where we live on now is 72 different frequencies of color. Fifth density, it's 123. Or there are colors and things that I've seen that I can't explain. There's just no way, because there's nothing here to compare it to.
Do we know who or if we are being helped with upliftment?
I think that is an absolute, real, definite possibility. Because Vissaeus said to me once, before he crossed over, that our specific Terran race was one of the most promising human species that they had seen in a very long time. Despite all the other crap, we were one of the most promising. I'm giving you my own opinion now, based on what I know. I don't know this as fact. But if the Andromedan Council does what they're planning to do next year and try to remove all regressive extraterrestrial presences off the planet and the moon, if they do in fact do that, Moronae has said that they are planning to just sit up in space, we will all see them, and watch us for anywhere from 2 to 4 years in our time. And what they want to do is they want to see how we are going to react with each other when we're not being manipulated. Will we in fact come together? There was a period of 300 years where there was absolutely no extraterrestrial intervention. And what happened? We dusted off the monarchies of Europe and we created the United States of America. The United States of America, ladies and gentlemen, was never supposed to happen. It was an accident. It was never supposed to happen. Okay? The royal families of Europe, who were connected to the extraterrestrial lineages, were never supposed to lose control. Never. And once America opened up Pandora's box, a lot of people followed, because we had all been sick of the tyranny, and we still are. Shapeshifters. Does technology exist where someone can create a holograph around themselves? Yes, the technology does exist. Is that technology presently being used on Earth? The answer to that is no. Can a regressive entity take over a human body? The answer to that is absolutely yes. And the process is actually very simple. They abduct someone, they bring him to death very slowly, and the moment his last breath, his essence, leaves the body, they replace it with another. Several moments later, that body will rise off the table. It'll be the same physical body, but inside it has a completely different agenda, because now it's a different soul. That technology does exist.
Would you call that a morphing?
Yes, I would.
Would they have the memory of the original body?
Yes, they do. But my understanding is that there's anywhere from 3 to 7 months where there is a transition period. And generally when it happens to a major figure, they will be out of the limelight or be very rarely seen when that happens, because they're still adjusting. So what some people have said is, well, I saw them turn into a reptilian. I actually saw the reptilian. Now, that's probably very true. Now, that doesn't mean that they're actually a reptilian and they're just, using technology to look like a human being. It's a human body. But you got to remember something. Reptilians are not used to the extremes of emotions. They don't have emotions like we do. Okay, in fact, many of the human races out there don't have the extreme of emotions that we do. So what happens is that if there's a situation where the body gets excited, because it's a human body, that's what it does. It's this huge antenna. When it gets excited, the reptilian soul inside doesn't know how to act. So he probably either gets frightened or he gets alarmed. And when he does that, because they're extremely powerful souls, you see a projection of themselves. You see the projection of themselves in their auric field. You will see it.